Welcome to the Philippine Motor Show. This is Autofocus. I'm Ray Louis Gamboa. Here's a menu of some of our features on this edition of your electronic magazine, exclusive to the automobile and its industry.
Starting off with reviews of two vehicle models presently in the local market. A subcompact SUV from Suzuki, the 2020 XL7 GLX, and a mid-size SUV from SsangYong, the Rexton 4x4. Plus, a feature-to-feature comparison of two subcompact SUV crossovers, the 2020 Kia Seltos and the 2019 Toyota Rush. On Autopedia, we'll find out how a supercharger works. And together, with the latest news and developments in the local auto industry, we shall have the launch of a new Ford Territory as our special feature.
The next 60 minutes is all about the automobile. This is Autofocus, and we'll be right back after this short break.
Be part of the 2020-2021 Autofocus People's Choice Awards, the only nationwide poll to determine the country's most popular car brands and models. It's easy. Log on, then vote for as many as 5 different models that you believe should become the 2020-2021 Autofocus Automobile of the Year in separate standard and premium luxury categories. Vote every day until September 30, 2020. The Autofocus People's Choice Awards. Who will win? You choose, you decide. Vote now.
Live extra
with the new Mitsubishi Xpander Cross.
What do we go for? We go for experience. We go for excitement. We go for sport. We go for style. We go for fun. We go for the new Toyota Wigo.
Welcome back to Autofocus, the automobile show. We start this edition of your electronic magazine with a review of one of the latest automobile models from Suzuki. The line between an SUV and an MPV has blurred over the years. Most of the time, you can't tell which is which. Perhaps it all boils down to how car makers want to market a 7-seater like the Suzuki XL7 GLX.
Seven-seaters are sought after by growing families who need cabin space and seat capacity afforded by so-called multi-purpose vehicles or MPVs, aka minivans. Sometimes they are also called mommobiles. But some, with more outdoorsy perceptions of themselves, don't like to be thought of as driving mommobiles. The Solution automaker came up with its to dress minivans as SUVs, sport utility vehicles. This may be how 7-seater SUVs became a thing. They now come in many sizes, from subcompacts to full size. One subcompact 7-seater SUV in the local market is the Suzuki XL7 GLX. The XL7 slots in nicely in the subcompact SUV segment in size. At 4,450mm long, 1,775mm wide, and 1,710mm tall. And with 200mm minimum ground clearance and in external features and styling. Bold front grille, thick black wheel arches, functional roof rails, side protection moldings, front and rear bumpers with underside protectors. All point to the XL7's SUV aspirations. The LED headlamp design, the DRL looking like the sharp end of a katana, as well as the rear combination lamps. The custom 16-inch alloy wheels, wrapped by 195/60 R16 tires, all add to the sporty SUV appearance. The 7-seater SUV, with a gross vehicle weight of 1,730 kilograms, is powered by a 1,462cc 4-cylinder gasoline engine with 16 valves and multi-point fuel injection that generates 103 horsepower at 6,000 revolutions per minute and 138 Newton meters of torque. The engine on the Suzuki XL7 GLX, available in the Philippines, is mated to a 4-speed automatic transmission. It can sit 7 adults comfortably on all 3 rows of seats. Fabric and PVC leather upholstery match the sporty interior accents and door trim using Fox carbon fiber material and satin chrome. Even the meter clusters get sporty with red accents to the speedometer, tachometer, and subdials. The front seats slide and recline, with the driver benefiting from height adjuster. Second row seats also slide and recline, split fold 60/40. The third seat splits fold 50/50. Seat backs can be folded flat to a nearly even surface for added cargo or luggage space. The XL7 GLX also features a lot of cool interior features, like ventilated cup holders beneath the center console, smartphone holders, auxiliary and USB portals on center console. This is aside from the other standard interior comfort and convenience features, such as automatic air conditioning, central door locks, power windows, power adjustable and folding side view mirrors, leather-covered D-shaped steering wheel with controls for audio and phone, and that adjusts for tilt, and keyless push-start system. Infotainment is also state-of-the-art, featuring a 10-inch touchscreen that plays video and audio, with Bluetooth and USB connectivity compatible with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. It comes integrated with rear parking camera. Whether on city streets, winding countryside roads, and expressways, the XL7 benefits from what Suzuki calls the new generation Heart-Tech platform that features lightweight but strong continuous metal frame that contributes to safety, lowers fuel consumption, provide better driving performance, as well as help minimize noise, vibration, and harshness on combination with generous use of noise absorption and insulation materials. The suspension system features McPherson struts with coil spring in front and torsion beam with coil springs in the rear, tuned to balance the need for a soft ride in city streets and a stiffer and stable ride at speed. The brake system, using front ventilated discs and leading trailing drums in the rear, is complemented by anti-lock braking system with electronic brake force distribution for safety. Also adding to safety is the electronic stability program that detects and mitigates wheel slippage and adjusts torque and brakes to help drivers stay in control of vehicle. Hill hold control helps driver on stop and go, driving on steep ascents. Also standard safety and security features on the Suzuki XL7 GLX are 3-point ELR seatbelts for 6, plus 2-point seatbelts for middle second row passenger, dual airbags, 2 ISOFIX child seat anchors, side impact door beams, door sensing security alarm, and engine immobilizer.
The XL7 can certainly make a good case for it being a subcompact SUV masquerading as a capable MPV, or perhaps vice versa. The latest auto industry news and developments right after this break.
The Mitsubishi Mirage.
What do we go for? We go for experience. We go for excitement. We go for sport. We go for style. We go for fun. We go for the new Toyota Wigo.
Welcome back to Autofocus, and we now have the latest auto industry news.
There's a new crossover in town, and it has a hybrid powertrain. It's the new Corolla Cross 1.8V Hybrid, now available at Toyota dealerships nationwide. Unveiled in a global premiere last month, the Cross, a 5-seater crossover, is the latest model of Toyota's global best-selling Corolla series. The Corolla Cross 1.8V Hybrid has all the trappings of a modern crossover: high ground clearance, wide stance, LED headlamps and daylight running lights, as well as design cues that call the RAV4 to mind. It comes with a smart entry and push start system, connectivity from an infotainment system featuring a 7-inch display, and compatibility with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The Hybrid Cross comes with a 1.8-liter Atkinson cycle engine and an electric motor that combines to generate a total system output of 120 horsepower and 142 Nm of torque. Also available at Toyota dealerships nationwide is the Corolla Cross 1.8G CVT variant, powered by a 1.8-liter inline 4-cylinder engine, generating 140 horsepower and 172 Nm of torque. Prices for the Corolla Cross 1.8V Hybrid starts at 1,650,000 pesos and at 1,285,000 pesos for the Corolla Cross 1.8G CVT. SMC Asia Car Distributors Corporation, official importer and distributor of BMW vehicles in the country, brought in 2 variants of the latest iteration of the German carmaker's flagship sedan, the 730i and the 745LE. Both showcase the refreshed fascia of the 7 Series, featuring a more dominating kidney grille, slimmer adaptive LED headlamps, larger BMW roundel, as well as the redesigned rear highlighted by broader chrome surrounds of the integrated exhaust tailpipes, slimmer 3-dimensional rear lights, a very slim light strip below the chrome bar connecting the rear lights. Both also arrive in pure excellence trim, the 745LE interior decked in exclusive Napa leather with extended quilting, and the 730i donning Dakota leather. The new 7 Series also comes standard with, among other cutting-edge tech, BMW Operating System 7.0 software, iDrive controller, BMW Live Cockpit Professionalic. The BMW 730i is powered by a 2-liter twin-power 4-cylinder gasoline engine that makes 265 horsepower and 400 Nm of torque. The 745LE is BMW's first ever plug-in hybrid electric vehicle in the Philippines. It uses a 3-liter BMW twin-power 6-cylinder gasoline engine paired with an electric motor. The 745LE retails for 9,590,000 pesos. The 730i for 5,990,000 pesos. The first ever compact 7-seater crossover from Mercedes is now available locally. The Mercedes GLB, a compact SUV powered by 1.3-liter inline 4-cylinder engine capable of generating 163 horsepower and 250 lb/ft of torque, was unveiled on Facebook Live. Mercedes calls the GLB the most versatile compact SUV available in the Philippine market. The 7-seater features the Mercedes-Benz user experience, an onboard personal assistant that responds to voice commands, gestures, or touches on a 7-inch central touchscreen or touchpad on center console. It also features a reverse camera and active parking assist to help the driver find suitable parking spaces. The GLB is also offered with an AMG line package that includes 19-inch 5 twin-spoke light alloy wheels, side skirts painted in body color, polished aluminum roof rails, and AMG body styling. It comes with a 3,790,000 peso introductory price. Lexus Manila has opened the portal to a virtual showroom where visitors can still feel what it calls the world-renowned Lexus hospitality. It says the Lexus Remote Guest Experience will allow customers to get to know the Lexus lineup of vehicles intimately from the comfort and security of their own homes. Visitors can go through a series of guided 360-degree walkthrough videos to feel the same experience as they would in the Lexus Manila showroom, even virtually getting inside of the vehicle with a sales consultant by their side. Lexus Manila says the virtual experience includes seeing the stable of Lexus vehicles up close, hearing their engines, sitting in and feeling their masterfully crafted interiors, and examining the intricate details of the sculpted bodywork. All of these while chatting with knowledgeable sales consultants about the finer points of each model to get a deeper appreciation of the craftsmanship and engineering behind every Lexus. To experience the Lexus Remote Guest Experience, visit this online link.
Those are the latest news and developments in the automotive industry. We shall take another short break. Stay with us. I'll be right back.
What do we go for? We go for experience. We go for excitement. We go for sport. We go for style. We go for fun. We go for the new Toyota Wigo.
Be part of the 2020-2021 Autofocus People's Choice Awards, the only nationwide poll to determine the country's most popular car brands and models. It's easy. Log on, then vote for as many as 5 different models that you believe should become the 2020-2021 Autofocus Automobile of the Year in separate standard and premium luxury categories. Vote every day until September 30, 2020. The Autofocus People's Choice Awards. Who will win? You choose, you decide. Vote now.
Welcome back to this edition of Autofocus, the country's premier automobile TV and online magazine. Here's our feature-to-feature comparison of the latest automobile models belonging to the same category on Head-to-Head. Crossovers and SUVs now come in 5 and 7-seater iterations. And to allow some models or variants to compete within the same price levels and are within the same size segments, car makers have taken into putting certain features in and taking certain goodies out. So it can be helpful to really compare spec to spec some of the options in the market, like the 2020 Kia Seltos and the 2019 Toyota Rush.
To say the local subcompact SUV or crossover market is crowded is an understatement. There are too many brands, models, variants, trim levels, and yes, SRPs, all looking to stand out from the rest. Let's zero in on two subcompact SUV crossovers. One is the Kia Seltos, which created a good splash when it first drove into the local market near the end of 2019. Rounding off Kia Philippines' lineup at 10 models. The other is the Rush, another SUV crossover in Toyota Motor Philippines' lineup, near to bursting bag of people movers. It has always been the Triple Crown King's way to provide models and variants to meet every possible need, want, and budget. 1. The Seltos 2.0 SX is a 5-seater. The other, the Rush 1.5G, is a 7-seater. The Seltos arrived in the country as one of the bigger crossovers in the local market at 4,370mm long, 1,800mm wide, and 1,600mm tall, or 1,615mm with roof rails installed. A crossover with a 170mm minimum ground clearance. It also has a 2,630mm long wheelbase. To make Seltos stand out in the crowded market, Kia added exterior features that elevate the subcompact crossover to premium SUV levels. The Kia Seltos 2.0 SX Automatic comes with projector-type LED headlamps, LED daytime running lights, LED front fog lamps, LED rear combination lamps, black and silver molding on grille, turn light indicators on side view mirrors, and roof rails. Also a standard in the SX are auto light control, fin-type antenna, satin finish on beltline molding, rear window defogger, rear spoiler with LED high mount stop lamp, and 215 by 55 R17 tires mounted on 17-inch alloy rims. The Rush is also one of the bigger players in the subcompact SUV segment at 4,435mm long, 1,695mm wide, and 1,705mm tall, plus a long 2,685mm wheelbase. Like most Toyotas, the Rush's look doesn't stun, but is nonetheless attractive enough to draw second looks of approval. The Rush 1.5G comes standard with LED headlamps and rear combination lamps with line guide, front fog lamps, smoke chrome radiator grille, fin-type antenna, roof rail, and rear spoiler with LED high mount stop lamp. The Seltos, brought in by Kia, is powered by an inline 4-cylinder gasoline engine with double overhead cam and DCVVT or dual continuous variable valve timing technology that generates 149 horsepower at 6,200 revolutions per minute and 179 Newton meters of torque at 4,500 RPM. The engine is mated to what Kia calls the Intelligent Variable Transmission, which is also called Continuously Variable Transmission or CVT by other makers. It drives the front wheels. The Seltos' suspension features McPherson struts with stabilizer in front and a coupled torsion beam axle in the rear. Stopping power comes from a brake system that uses discs on all four wheels. underneath the hood of the Rush 1.5G is Toyota's 2NR VE power unit, a 1,496cc 4-cylinder gasoline engine with 16 valves, double overhead cam, dual VVTi, and chain drive. The engine generates 102 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 134 Nm of torque at 4,200 RPM, which are transmitted to the rear wheels via 4-speed automatic transmission. The suspension system features the standard McPherson struts with stabilizer bar in front and 5-link axle type in the rear. Stopping power comes from a brake system using front ventilated discs and rear leading trail drums. Kia went all in the interior and comfort and convenience, as well as infotainment departments with the Seltos. The Seltos SX comes with smart entry and central door lock systems, plus a push start button that illuminates. The roomy cabins feature are well-cushioned seats upholstered in leatherette and cloth trim. The console box doubles as an armrest that slides. The second row seat splits 60-40. The seat back reclines and can be folded to add the already substantial 433-liter cargo capacity. Also featured are twin front cup holders, bottle holders on all 4 doors, 2 12-volt power outlets, and power windows. The standard instrument panel features speedometer, tachometer, and 3.5-inch LCD info display. The 3-spoke leather upholstered steering wheel tilts and telescopes and comes with controls for audio, Bluetooth, and cruise control. The SX gear shift knob is also wrapped in leather. Adding to comfort in the SX is single-zone automatic air conditioning system. All Seltos available locally comes with an infotainment system that features an 8-inch touchscreen that plays AM/FM radio, MP3 through 6 speakers. It has a USB port and is compatible with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The SX also comes with a rear camera display with rear view driving function. The Toyota Rush 1.5G features 3 rows of seats for 7 passengers, all done in rich fabric upholstery. The front seat slides and reclines, with the driver getting an added height adjuster. The second row seat for 3 passengers splits 60-40 and features a one-touch tumble and slide lever to allow easy access to third row seats for 2. The third row seat splits and tumbles 50-50. The dash features an echo indicator, an LED multifunction display, and a 2-tone instrument panel center cluster with chrome trim. The leather-wrapped steering wheel comes with switches and buttons for audio and telephone. The shift lever and knob also get the leather treatment. Comfort and convenience features in the Rush 1.5G include a smart entry complementing the push-start system, automatic air conditioning, power adjust, and folding outer mirrors. The infotainment system uses 7-inch touchscreen that plays CD and MP3 and comes with auxiliary and USB port, Bluetooth connectivity, and compatible with iOS and Android systems. The Rush 1.5G also comes with back sensors and monitors with guideline. The Seltos arrived in the Philippines loaded with a lot of safety features. These include driver and front passenger airbags, anti-lock brakes, 3-point ELR seatbelts with pretensioners for 4 passengers, plus 2-point seatbelts for the rear middle seat passenger, ISOFIX child seat anchors, child locks, and anti-theft system. The SX gets additional side and curtain airbags, electronic stability control, downhill brake control, hill start assist control, as well as engine immobilizer. Safety and security features in the Toyota Rush 1.5G include dual airbags for driver and front seat passenger, side airbags and curtain shields, ABS with electronic brake force distribution, vehicle stability control with traction control, hill start assist, and emergency stop signal. There are 3-point ELR seatbelts for all 7 passengers, with the driver and front seat passenger getting pre-tensioners, child locks for the rear doors, child seat ISOFIX anchors and tethers, and the Toyota vehicle security system with alarm and immobilizer.
Both the Kia Seltos and the Toyota Rush are good options when looking for SUVs or crossovers. The Rush 1.5G for those looking for 7-seaters, and the Seltos SX for those needing 2 less seats in their crossovers.
Be it fine dining, a romantic garden wedding, a relaxed casual meal, or an important business event, Ilustrado is the place to go. Aside from its famed paella, the Ilustrado restaurant, which is located within the history-laden walled city of Intramuros, is also the favorite destination of food gourmands for its famous callos and lengua and other classic gustatory offerings. Ilustrado restaurant, only for the foodies.
Elevate your journey. The new Montero Sport.
Drive your ambition. Mitsubishi Motors.
What do we go for? We go for experience. We go for excitement. We go for sport. We go for style. We go for fun. We go for the new Toyota Wigo.
Welcome back to Autofocus, the country's premier automobile news and features electronic magazine. Our special feature is next. Ford Philippines is looking to carve out space in the SUV market for the territory. Let's find out how and why in this special feature.
The Ford Territory has arrived with as much digital fanfare as possible online and on social media. Ford Philippines hosted a sort of rolling press conference, small batches of media zooming in and taking turns for brief but personalized walkthroughs of the new Territory and its special features from Ford's top honchos and short Q&As after. The brief walkthrough may not be enough to truly showcase the new Territory, what to highlight and emphasize. The sleek and stylish but still unmistakably Ford look, the smart and safe technologies, the 1.5L EcoBoost engine mated to a continuously variable transmission, with sport mode that delivers 143 PS and 225 Nm of torque, or the all-LED headlamps, daytime running lamps, tail lamps, auto-on-off headlamps with Follow Me Home feature, the front and rear fog lamps, the panoramic moonroof, rear spoiler, and roof rails all coming as standard in both New Territory Trend and Titanium Plus variants brought to the country. What about the perforated leather seat material? Smart keyless entry with push-button start, leather steering wheel with mounted controls, powered door lock with central locking, speed sensing door locks, rear view mirror with auto dimming and high mount USB port, leather covered center console with dual lid opening, sunglass holder, 7 cup and bottle holders, and 12-volt power outlet. PK Umashankar, President and Managing Director of Ford Philippines, chose to highlight what it felt like in the driver's seat.
The way the layout is pretty much like a cockpit, the way the controls are laid out. And what appeals to me personally is the way the whole system comes across, the whole dash panel comes across. The audio system, 10-inch touchscreen, 4-quadrant display allows very, very cool engagement. I'm just going to take one example, 360-degree camera, which shows the vehicle as if there is a drone camera outside shooting it very clearly. And we can control that from inside to understand any angle, or even use a side repeater to understand which side you want to take a vehicle look. And what's interesting is that the way I can operate those 4 quadrants, choose the one which I want to work on and do that stuff, gives you the way that we manage our tablets and iPads, for example, is what we just carry forward. Another interesting element is what I have here is the cluster, 10-inch cluster, probably one of the few in the segment. And what's interesting is that we have an ability to change the way the cluster is laid out. What I'm showing you is a sport layout, and I can also jump to another layout called classic, which shows a classic way, or for young and upwardly mobile, they got a fashion option as well.
During the Q&A portion, one question asked of Umashankar is, what space in the local Ford SUV lineup does the New Territory occupy?
This is positioned above Ford EcoSport because Ford EcoSport is an entry SUV in the Ford showroom, and Territory sits just above that, and as you can see from the price positioning where it actually is positioned. In terms of market, we believe that this has potential to draw from the mini utility segment where EcoSport and a group of other manufacturers compete, and also from the small segment, small utility segment, which is slowly and steadily growing as well.
Another question. How does the New Territory separate itself from rivals in the crowded SUV and crossover market?
Now, from the space and size standpoint, because it is a small SUV segment with a body dimensions as the longest, if not the longest, the widest in the segment, it delivers on the space and size. In terms of styling cues, it brings in the latest of the Ford design cues in SUV element, and that's pretty visible. In terms of technology, we made sure that because of the consumers we are going after, young affluents and small families who are upwardly mobile, their consumption on technology is over-indexed. So we made sure that the vehicle is with oodles of technology so they can connect with that very easily.
During the Q&A, the Ford Philippines' top honcho revealed what they call the Territory Movement, which defines how they plan to sell the new SUV in its lineup.
What we believe Territory will do is the collective experience, the emotional outcome of owning a Territory is going to be an enjoyable and a lasting and a sustainable one. That's what we are going to be after. It's not just the content, it's how it's all coming together makes it better for the consumer in their ownership experience. Whether it's cost of ownership, of owning the vehicle, or the fuel economy, every angle of it is appropriately addressed. So that's what territories aim to be. That's why we call it the territory moment, which is the moment is more important than the material behind it itself. So we believe in making sure customers' moment gets better when they own the territory. That's the angle that we are looking at by delivering all of that stuff.
Will Ford be successful in getting the young and the affluent, as well as small families and the upwardly mobile, to enjoy their territory moment? We will see soon enough.
Be part of the 2020-2021 Autofocus People's Choice Awards, the only nationwide poll to determine the country's most popular car brands and models. It's easy. Log on, then vote for as many as 5 different models that you believe should become the 2020-2021 Autofocus Automobile of the Year in separate standard and premium luxury categories. Vote every day until September 30, 2020. The Autofocus People's Choice Awards. Who will win? You choose, you decide. Vote now.
Mitsubishi Strada Athlete. Unleash the athlete.
Drive your ambition. Mitsubishi Motors.
Motul is the most trusted motor oil of the top teams competing in some of the world's most grueling race competitions: the WRC, the WTCC, and the Japan GT. Motul is the only 100% fully synthetic motor oil in the market. It has antioxidant properties that prevent premature thickening and aging due to thermal stress and guarantees total engine protection. For more information about Motul engine oils, visit www.motul.com.ph.
Welcome back. We have more cars for you to know and appreciate here on Autofocus, as we have our second car review this week. SsangYong Motor has built itself a reputation as a maker of premium SUVs with solid design, all-wheel drive, and diesel engineering. Up next, we take a look at one of the models it has brought to our shores via SsangYong Philippines, the Rexton 2.2-liter 4x4 automatic.
The 2019 SsangYong Rexton 2.2-liter 4x4 automatic arrived to make its presence felt in a very crowded local sports utility vehicle market. Just 150 millimeters short of 5 meters long and needing just 40 millimeters to make it 2 meters wide and 200 millimeters to make it 2 meters tall, the Rexton fits snugly into the mid-size SUV segment. SsangYong has moved on from the days of the angular rugged Musso, one of its first entries to the SUV market, to a smoother and more conventional SUV design for the Rexton. Not setting itself too much apart from the competitors in terms of design, but nonetheless presenting an athletic stance, lines and proportions to avoid cookie-cutter critiques. With a handsome fascia featuring integrated LED headlights, turn signal, and daylight running lights. And not forgetting derrière fog lamps. And a rear that is just a touch above conventional with a spoiler and high mount stop lamp. bespoke chrome 20-inch alloy rims, wrapped by 255/50 R20 tires, add the necessary sporty touch. While SsangYong does not seek too much separation from competitors with the Rexton exterior design, it does so with a rich-looking interior and a wealth of comfort and convenience features. As is now standard in mid-size SUVs, the Rexton sits 7 with 2+3+2 configuration. The third row also folds easily to add more luggage space when needed. SsangYong didn't scrimp on quantity and quality of the leather for the seats and door trims on its top-of-line Rexton, nor for the comfort and convenience features that include everything from tilt and telescopic column for its electronic-powered steering wheel, push-start button, power windows, parking sensors, complemented by reverse cameras, automatic headlights, dual-zone climate control with second-row AC vents, power seats, which is 8-way for the driver and 6-way for front seat passenger, with both heated and ventilated, to even cruise control. Dash and instrumentation present a classy mix of analog gauges and digital display. There was no scrimping on onboard entertainment system with connectivity either, with touchscreen display, auxiliary jack, USB, and Bluetooth connections ready for almost seamless tethering to both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The sound playing through 6 speakers. The Rexton 2.2-liter 4x4 drivetrain features an inline-4 2,157cc DOHC 16-valve, turbocharged and intercooled diesel engine with CRDI, generating a max 181 PS at 4,000 RPM and the max 420 Nm of torque at 1,600 to 2,600 RPM. With all that power and torque coursed to all 4 wheels via a 7-speed transmission, said to be among the smoothest in class. Stopping power comes from an all-wheel disc brake system, complemented by a host of active and passive safety features, including anti-lock braking system with electronic brake force distribution and brake assist. Also added for safety are stability control, traction control, hill start assist, hill descent control, driver airbag, passenger airbag, front curtain airbags. Solid body on frame construction make the Rexton 2.2-liter 4x4 automatic a good and safe bet for driving on rough roads and uneven terrain, while a longish 2.865-meter wheelbase provides stable ride and handling at speed. All these are complemented by front double wishbone with coil springs and a rear 5-link suspension system. SsangYong believes it has put together a competitive package of product and price in the 2019 Rexton 2.2-liter 4x4 automatic to do well in the local mid-size SUV market.
Many are wondering about how the local automotive market will fare post-community quarantine. Will there still be interest for buying SUVs and other cars? If there are still people looking to acquire mid-size SUVs, then SsangYong Rexton should be among top-of-the-mind options. Know more about your car and how to take care of it here on Autopedia.
Hi, this is Sydney, and today we'll be talking about the Supercharger. Superchargers and turbochargers. You hear these two terms thrown around interchangeably, and can't really blame the people on the internet because they don't really know what it is. They have no idea what it looks like, much less know how it works. So we've covered turbochargers in a past topic, so this time we'll be covering the Supercharger. So basically, let's start with the similarities. Turbo and supercharger. Both of these things are called forced induction. because you are force feeding more air into the engine. It's just that the way that they do it are different. A turbo uses the exhaust gases to spin a turbine that feeds air. A supercharger, on the other hand, uses a belt like this, connected to the engine, connected to the alternator, water pump, aircon compressor, that spins two rotors in here that also force more air in. Same principle, get more air, suck more air, blow more air, make more power. The main difference between the supercharger and turbocharger is of the hardware itself. Almost all turbochargers are two circular round things. Superchargers come in this rectangular package because inside here are two intermeshing lobes. They look like gears. So what they basically do is it's also an air pump. Goes like this, air goes in, gets forced out, creates pressure. Nothing different from a turbocharger in terms of principle of operation, but how it operates is one is belt driven, one is exhaust driven. Now, let's address the popular notion, oh, superchargers have parasitic loss and all of that. No, it's not true. Whatever you read on the internet, once again, it's not true. Yes, it takes some energy to turn this, but that energy is a lot less than what the energy that it gives. Because if it is parasitic loss, and you're actually using more energy to turn this than what it makes, then there's no point in installing this in the first place. Let's put that in numbers. To turn this thing here, the assembly here with the lobes inside, takes about 5 horsepower from the engine. But what this gives you in return is about 40 horsepower on this 1.5 liter Honda City engine. So power-wise, for a 1.5 engine, we're adding 40 horsepower more. Basically, the behavior is like stuffing a big 2.4 liter engine into a car this small. That's the easiest way to describe the driving style and result of a supercharger. It feels like a big engine. The power curve is actually a straight line from idle all the way to red light. It's one straight line. No dips, no curves, no nothing. And it's very, very linear, which makes it a great choice for racing because unlike turbochargers, which have surge and sometimes, depending on what size the turbo is, there's a lag when you let go. It's not very great when you're coming out of a corner. This is more predictable when it comes to driving and racing. So turbocharger, supercharger, which is better? One is not better than the other. One does not make more power than the other. If you're doing this on your project car, say a Civic 1.8, there is a limit to how much horsepower you can make. Go over that limit, whether it's turbo, supercharger, then you'll break the engine. It all depends on really what you want. And of course, how much you're going to pay. Some people may say, oh, I'll spend 200 grand on a supercharger for 40 horses. But if I do turbocharger, it's only 130, 140,000. I'll go with the cheaper option. Well, that's up to you. But the biggest advantage of a supercharger system is most of these things are made in kit form. So everything that you need to be able to install it comes with it. So this one here actually installs in one day. A custom turbo setup where everything will have to be fabricated from scratch will take about a week. That's the fastest, to an average of a week and a half to 2 weeks. So you figure out how much your downtime is worth. So that's the how and why it works of a supercharger.
That's our feature on Autopedia this week. Taking care of your ride has been made easier. And that's Autofocus this week. We hope you have found this edition of your Automobile Electronic magazine informative as well as entertaining. You can also check us out on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. On behalf of my dad, Butch Gamboa, this has been your host, Ray Louie Gamboa. Please stay safe and healthy.